DJ, naweza kuendelea. Natumai umeshaandaa wimbo wa taifa Kwa hiyo muda ukifika tunaenda chap chap, tusipoteze muda. Haya. viongozi wetu sasa wanakuja. Kwa hivi kama nilivyosema, basi tutawapokea kwa heshima, tutasimama, piga makofi mpaka atakuja meza kuu hapa, alafu tutaanza. Sawa sawa. Na tutakuwa tumesimama hivyo hivyo, tutaimba wimbo wa taifa, alafu tutaendelea. Wajumbe wetu wa baraza wote mtakuja huku pamoja na meza kuu itakapokuwa wanakuja viongozi, na nyinyi viongozi wetu wa baraza na senate mtakuja huku mbele. Yes, much welcome the Vice Chancellor and all the delegates. You are warmly welcome to the 35th annual general meeting of the Convocation of the Open University of Tanzania. Ladies and gentlemen, can we stand? Yes. Yes, let us get ready for the national anthem. DJ. have Honorable Mese Sila. We also have Mr. Faki from Zanzibar. And others will join us as we are moving on with our program. We also have the Director for International, for Links and International Affairs of the university, that is Dr. Flora Kiwonde. Okay, thank you very much. Let me now move to the management members of the management. And here we have deans and directors. Would you please rise? Thank you very much. We also have heads of units. Yes, Director for Communications and Marketing and other unit heads will join us as we're moving on. Let me also introduce our guests from various institutions who have joined us. Could you please rise? Yes, we have from the Taasisi ya Elimu ya Watu Wazima. Karibuni sana from Taasisi ya Elimu ya Watu Wazima. Let me also introduce the alumni of the Open University of Tanzania who have joined us today. Can you please rise? Alumni, wahitimu wa zamani na wahitimu wapya. Simameni. Yes. Asante sana. Thank you very much. I hope we are done with a short introduction, and we can now move on with our program. And allow me to welcome Professor Modest Barisanga for a welcoming remarks. Our President, much welcome.
Hello? 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 Hii ni hotuba ya Rais wa Convocation, Professor Modest Barisanga, mwenyekiti wa Council ya Chuo Kikuu, hello, hello.
Our distinguished keynote speaker, Professor After Deputy Vice Chancellors, Deans and Directors, Heads of Department, donors and
Modest Varisanga.
We are truly privileged to walk his path under his leadership. To the esteemed members of the Council and Senate, your diligence, foresight, and intellectual guardianship uphold the integrity and vision of the Open University of Tanzania. Today's ceremony stands as
Hii ni hotuba ya Rais wa Convocation Professor Modest Varisanga ambaye anasoma kwa wageni waalikwa, ambapo anamshukuru mkuu wa chuo Professor Alex Makolelo Convocation Professor Modest Varisanga ambaye anatolewa kwa wageni waalikwa wa tukio hili la mkutano wa wanazuoni katika chuo kikuu huria.
Currently Professor of Innovative Digital Learning and Director of the Digital Learning Hub at the Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation in Kuala Lumpur, stands among the world's most influential leaders in instructional design, e-learning, and education innovation. Her distinguished career spans over 3 decades across Malaysia, the Middle East, North America, and the wider Commonwealth, marked by groundbreaking contributions in web-based learning, smart education environments.
Hapa Rais wa Convocation Professor Modest Varisanga anaelezea wasifu wa mgeni rasmi wa Convocation ya 35 ya chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania.
She brings to us decades of scholarship in digital learning, technology-enabled education, and transformative pedagogical innovation. Her insights have informed scholars of integrity, innovators of purpose, and the global citizens ready to lead with courage and wisdom. Whether seated among us or following online afar, today we celebrate you, honoring those who we lost. Before proceeding, I invite all present to raise for a moment of solemn silence as we remember students, staff, colleagues, members of our community who departed during the year. Please. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Amen. Thank you. Appreciation to organizers and partners. Honorable Mr. the convocation extends its profound appreciation for your support and leadership in ensuring the success of this year's event. We also thank the university management, organizing committees, and all individuals who gave their time and expertise to bring this day to fruition. Your labor of love has made this ceremony possible. Let us give them a worthy round of applause. Graduates, statistics, and outlook. This year, we welcome thousands, in fact, over 5,000 prospective graduates. Now they will be our new convocation members, and they are from different categories, educational categories, certificate, diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate levels. Our international student body continues to grow, affirming OUT role as a continental hub of inclusive and transformative education. We are also pleased to witness a rise in the number of female graduates, a promising reflection of national and institutional efforts towards gender parity, particularly through the STEM initiative. Yet, as we celebrate these gains, we must continue striving towards full gender equity, access, and representation across all levels of higher education. Now the road ahead for the graduates. As you prepare to be offered with your qualifications tomorrow, remember, the knowledge you carry is powerful, but the wisdom to apply it is transformative. Your education has shaped your mind, but your character will shape your destiny. The world awaits your brilliance, so step into it with confidence and purpose. I invite you, our soon-to-be alumni, to register with the OUT Alumni Association and join a community of united by shared identity, shared pride, and shared future. Our team, led by Ms. Sarah Abdi, will facilitate your registration. Awards and recognitions. Before we wind up our session today, we shall honor exceptional students and OUT leaders with awards and certificates of merit. Your distinction uplifts us all. Continue to soar higher and carry the OUT spirit wherever you go.
niaba ya makamu mkuu wa chuo Profesa Alex Makulilo, na sasa anaanza kuwashukuru na kuwatambulisha wageni rasmi na wageni waalikwa. Ndugu wa Chuo Kikuu Huria cha Tanzania, wadau wa seneti ya Chuo Kikuu Huria, pamoja na wazungumzaji wetu wa leo, wahitimu pamoja na wahitimu wa Chuo Kikuu Huria, wafanyakazi wa Chuo Kikuu Huria, mabibi na mabwana, habari za asubuhi. Inanipa heshima kubwa kuwakaribisha wote katika CONVOCATION 35 ya Chuo Kikuu Huria. Leo tunasherehekea mabadiliko ya maisha kupitia elimu, na jukumu letu la pamoja la kuiandaa Tanzania, Afrika na dunia nzima kwa ujumla katika kukabiliana na kesho yetu ijayo. Na kauli mbiu ya CONVOCATION ya leo ni jinsi gani tunavyoweza kutumia teknolojia katika kupata faida za kielimu. Waheshimiwa wageni, mabibi na mabwana, kwa zaidi ya miongo mitatu Chuo Kikuu Huria cha Tanzania kimekuwa mwanzilishi wa elimu ya wazi na masafa, na dhumuni letu kuu limekuwa liko wazi, kuhakikisha kwamba watu wote wanapata elimu na kuhakikisha kwamba umbali hauwi kikwazo katika kupata elimu. Leo teknolojia pamoja na vifaa vya tehama vinasaidia katika wanafunzi kupata elimu hii ya masafa na sisi kufikia lengo letu. Hizi teknolojia zinazoibuka kama artificial intelligence pamoja na teknolojia nyingine mpya kama akili mnemba pamoja na nyingine nyingi zimekuwa zikisaidia kufikia lengo hili. Chuo chetu kimejikita katika kanuni za wazi, weledi. Hizi ni muhimu sana katika sisi kufikia malengo yetu. Yanatuwezesha kupanua wigo wa kuhudumia wateja wetu na kuhakikisha kwamba wanafunzi wote bila kujali historia zao za kijamii wanapata nafasi ya kupata elimu. Kwa kuangalia kanuni zetu ambazo zilipelekea kuanzishwa Chuo Kikuu Huria ni kuhakikisha kwamba ujifunzaji unakuwa rahisi. Wageni waalikwa, mabibi na mabwana, Chuo Kikuu Huria cha Tanzania kinaendelea kujihakikisha kwamba malengo haya yote yanafikiwa, kuhakikisha kwamba elimu inayotolewa ni nafuu kwa watu wote kuweza kugharamia. Vifaa vya kujifunzia vya kidijitali pamoja na kutumia nyenzo za elimu ya masafa ya mbali ili wanafunzi waweze kupata elimu. Lakini pia tumehakikisha kwamba mifumo yetu ya tehama iko wazi kwa ajili ya wanafunzi wote kutumia. Tunaamini kwamba elimu ni lazima itumike katika kuinua maisha ya watu. Ndio maana dhamira yetu kutumia vifaa hivi vya tehama na teknolojia inapatikana kwa wote. Kazi yangu ya kitaaluma ilijikita hasa katika kupata ubinafsi wa taaluma, usiri wa taaluma. katika zamo huu au dhamira hii ambapo chuo kikuu huria kinahakikisha kwamba usiri wa taarifa binafsi unazingatiwa na unalindwa kama inavyotakiwa katika mifumo na taratibu za kimataifa. Tanzania pamoja na Afrika ni lazima kuzingatia mifumo hii ya tehama. Chuo Kikuu cha Tanzania kinataka kiongoze kwa mfano katika kuhakikisha dhamira hii ya elimu bora ya masafa inasifiwa. Wapenzi wahitimu wa mahafali 25 na wapa hongera, kwani mmefikia lengo kuu, kwani wengi mmesoma na mmejifunza katika mazingira yenye changamoto nyingi kama kazi, familia na majukumu binafsi. Kama moto wa Chuo Kikuu Huria cha Tanzania, Chuo Kikuu Huria cha Tanzania kimekuwezesha nyinyi wanafunzi kupata vitu vyote mnavyohitaji. Tafadhali vitumieni na muendelee katika kuendeleza elimu yenu. Ni lazima muwe mabalozi wazuri wa ubunifu katika kuendeleza elimu hii masafa. Wageni waalikwa na wageni wa heshima, niruhusuni niishie hapa. Nachukua nafasi hii tena kuwakaribisha katika utaratibu huu mzuri wa kitaaluma. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. Ndugu watazamaji mnaotufuatilia katika YouTube channel yetu ya ODL TV, huyo alikuwa ni makamu mkuu wa Chuo Kikuu Huria cha Tanzania, Profesa Alex Makolilo. Kinachofuata sasa kulingana na ratiba yetu, kwenye ratiba yetu ni hotuba ya makamu mkuu wa chuo na taaluma na utafiti, Profesa Saganga Kapaya. Makamu mkuu wa Chuo Kikuu Huria cha Tanzania, Profesa Alex Makolilo, wapenzi wazungumzaji katika hafla hii, Rais wa Convocation Profesa Modest Varesanga, wakuu wa vitivo na wakurugenzi na wageni waalikwa, mabibi na mabwana. Wapokeaji wa zawadi katika tukio hili, mabibi na mabwana. Habari za asubuhi. Itifaki yote imezingatiwa. Nipo hapa kwa ajili ya kufanyia kazi vitu viwili. Cha kwanza ni kuzungumza kabla ya utoaji wa zawadi kwa wahitimu na wanaostahili, ambapo nitamkaribisha mzungumzaji mkuu ambaye ni mgeni rasmi katika kutoa hizi zawadi. Nawakaribisha wote katika tukio hili muhimu la mwaka huu la utoaji wa zawadi kwa wanafunzi waliofanya vizuri. Lakini vile vile nawakaribisha wapokeaji wa zawadi pamoja na wachangiaji na wadhamini waliofanikisha katika utoaji wa zawadi hizi, ambapo nitawataja baadaye. Lakini katika tukio hili lisingewezekana bila ya mchango wa watu tofauti. Kama miaka mingine iliyopita, tukio hili limefadhiliwa kwa kiasi kikubwa na Chuo Kikuu Huria pamoja na wadau wengine pamoja na taasisi ya wanafunzi. Chuo Kikuu Huria, mabibi na mabwana, leo tutakwenda kutoa zawadi mbalimbali katika makundi mbalimbali. Wanafunzi wa kike na wanafunzi bora katika vitivo tofauti 10 ambao wamepata GPA ya juu ya 4.5. Na sasa nitataja makundi ya zawadi ambayo yatapewa zawadi. Ya kwanza ni zawadi ya counselor. Hii ni zawadi inayopewa kwa mwanafunzi aliyepata GPA ya kubwa kabisa. Na katika zawadi hii tutatoa cheti, tutatoa zawadi ya pesa. Ya pili ni zawadi ya makamu mkuu wa chuo kwa wanafunzi wa shahada ya kwanza ambaye amepata GPA isiyopungua 3.5. Na zawadi hii ni cheti pamoja na zawadi ya fedha 240,000 za Kitanzania. Ya tatu ni zawadi ya mkuu wa kitivo ambaye imepewa kwa mtu wa pili mwenye GPA kubwa zaidi, ambaye hajapata GPA ya chini ya 3.5, ambapo pia hapa tutatoa pesa pamoja na cheti, pesa 250,000. Zawadi ya 4 ni zawadi inayotolewa na waziri wa elimu na teknolojia. Na nyingine pia ni zawadi kwa mwanafunzi bora wa kike ambayo inapewa kwa mwanafunzi bora wa kike katika shahada ya awali kama GPA yake haipungui 3.5, ambapo pia zawadi atakayopewa ni pesa pamoja na cheti. Zawadi ya 5 ni zawadi inayotolewa na jaji mkuu. Hii huwa inatolewa kwa mwanafunzi bora wa kitivo cha sheria ambaye ana GPA ya juu kabisa kuliko wenzake, na zawadi ni 300,000 za Kitanzania, pesa taslimu pamoja na cheti. Zawadi ya 6 ni zawadi kutoka CYP ambayo inapewa kwa mwanafunzi mwenye daraja A katika diploma ya vijana. Safari hii atapewa shilingi 50,000 pamoja na cheti. Ya 7 ni zawadi kutoka kwa rais wa taasisi ya wanafunzi ambayo inapewa kwa mwanafunzi mwenye GPA ya juu kabisa kutoka wale wote waliosoma shahada ya kwanza. Na safari hii ni 83,000 za Kitanzania kwa kila mmoja. Lakini vile vile kuna zawadi ya katibu mkuu wa taasisi ya wanafunzi, ambapo ambapo zawadi hii safari itakuwa ni cheti pamoja na pesa taslimu. Tuna zawadi nyingine pia zinazotolewa na idara ambazo huwa wanapewa wanafunzi wenye GPA ya juu, ambayo GPA yao ni 3.5 kwenda juu. Lakini vile vile tuna zawadi kutoka kwa watu wenye mahitaji maalum kutoka chuo kikuu RIA. Hii ni zawadi inayotolewa kwa wanafunzi wenye mahitaji maalum ambao wanatumia vifaa maalum vya kujifunzia. Pia tuna zawadi nyingine mpya ambayo imetolewa na TCRA. Hii ni zawadi inayotolewa kwa mwanafunzi bora kabisa. Inatolewa kwa mwanafunzi bora ambaye GPA yake haiko chini ya 3.5. Naye pia ni cheti pamoja na laptop mpya. Pia tuna zawadi kutoka EWURA, mamlaka inayodhibiti, naye pia itakuwa ni zawadi cheti. Na hawa ni wadhamini wetu, watu ambao wanatusaidia katika kutoa zawadi kwa wanafunzi. Ya 14 tuna zawadi ya Profesa Saidi Ali. Hii inatolewa kwa mwanafunzi wa pili bora katika Bachelor of Science, ambaye inapewa kwa mwanafunzi bora wa pili ili mradi tu GPA yake ni 100,000. Lakini kuna zawadi ya Profesa Fweja. Hii huwa inatolewa kwa mwanafunzi bora wa shahada ya sayansi katika mambo ya chakula. Hii pia inatolewa kwa mwanafunzi mwenye GPA kubwa zaidi ya GPA 3.5 ambayo ni 200,000 pamoja na cheti. Lakini vile vile kuna zawadi nyingine ya umma, ili hali tu GPA yake isiwe chini ya 3.5, na zawadi yake ni 200,000 za Kitanzania pamoja na cheti. Lakini pia tuna nyingine mbili zaidi. Zawadi ya 17 inatolewa kwa utafiti bora wa shahada ya uzamivu. Hii ni zawadi mpya ambayo tumeianza mwaka huu, na lengo lake ni kuimarisha utafiti. Na miongoni mwa vigezo vyake ni kwamba mwanafunzi lazima awe amepublish at least andiko moja, ambayo safari hii ni cheti pamoja na zawadi ya pesa taslimu 300,000. Lakini zawadi nyingine mpya ambayo inatolewa mwaka huu inatolewa kwa mwanafunzi bora wa shahada ya uzamivu ambaye amefanya vizuri. Safari hii zawadi ni cheti pamoja na fedha taslimu. Ndugu wageni waalikwa na wageni rasmi, zawadi hizi zote zilizotajwa hapa zinadhaminiwa kwa kiasi kikubwa na Chuo Kikuu RIA cha Tanzania, na serikali ya wanafunzi ya Chuo Kikuu cha Tanzania, EWURA, TCRA, NMB na pamoja na watu wengine binafsi. Tunapenda kutoa shukrani zetu za dhati kabisa kwa taasisi hizi na watu hawa ambao wametuwezesha kufanikisha zoezi hili la utoaji zawadi kwa wanafunzi. uongozi wetu bora ni kutoka kuonyesha kwamba chuo kinathamini wanafunzi hawa pamoja na jitihada zao katika kusoma. Napenda pia kuwaomba taasisi nyingine na watu wengine binafsi kusaidia na kuchangia katika kutoa zawadi hizi na kuchangia kwa ujumla katika kupeleka mbele maendeleo haya ya elimu katika chuo kikuu huria. Na mtu yeyote anayetaka kufanya hivyo anaweza akawasiliana na sisi ili kupewa utaratibu jinsi gani kuweza kufanya hivyo. Lakini vile vile napenda kuchukua nafasi hii kutoa shukrani zangu kwa muda wao pamoja na kujitolea kwao katika kupeleka mbele chuo kikuu huria. Wote kwa pamoja tuendelee kushirikiana ili kuhakikisha kwamba malengo yetu yanatimia kama ilivyopangwa. Tena natoa hongera kwa washindi na wastahiki wa zawadi hizi. Sina shaka wala wasiwasi wote kwamba wengi wenu mtafanya vizuri katika maisha pamoja na kazi zenu. Lakini lazima uzingatie kwamba jambo la muhimu la kupata mafanikio katika maisha ni kuweka jitihada. Kwa hiyo Council pamoja na Seneti ya Chuo Kikuu Huria cha Tanzania inawatakia mafanikio katika kazi zenu. Kwa hiyo baada ya utambulisho huu nitaendelea na jambo lifuatalo ambalo ni kutoa zawadi. Na vile vile nitatoa maelekezo mafupi na machache jinsi gani tutafanya hivyo. Tunayo majina ya hawa wanaostahili kupata zawadi, kwa hivyo tutaita majina kwa makundi mbalimbali. Kwa hiyo kama upo utakuja mbele na kupokea zawadi yako. Kwa hiyo tutaita majina kwanza, kisha watu wote watakuja mbele, alafu tutatoa zawadi. Mwanzo tulikuwa na utaratibu kwamba kama mtu hayupo basi viongozi wa kitivo huwa wanawachukulia hawa wahitimu zawadi. Lakini safari hii haitakuwa hivyo. Kwa hiyo wakuu wa vitivo watulie, tutafanya utaratibu mwingine. Wahitimu na washindi wa zawadi hizi waje kuchukua zawadi zao. Kwa hiyo kwa hapa tutatoa zawadi tu kwa wale waliokuwepo. Zawadi ya kwanza ni zawadi ya mkuu wa chuo. Kabla hata tujaendelea, nimkaribishe msemo chochote aseme kitu. Tutaanza utaratibu wetu wa kutoa zawadi, lakini kwa heshima zote ningeomba meza kuu washuke chini ili kusudi kwamba tuweze kuwapa zawadi wanafunzi wetu bora. Na mzungumzaji wetu mkuu ndiye atakayekuwa anatoa zawadi kwa wanafunzi hao. Karibuni sana. Na kwa hiyo kwa kifupi nitataja zawadi, kitivo pamoja na jina la wanafunzi. Wa kwanza ni zawadi ya makamu mkuu wa chuo kutoka kitivo cha biashara na sayansi ya jamii. Na hao wanaotajwa ndo washindi wa zawadi hizo. kwanza ni miyogi ilibariki. Wa pili ni sindano Angelista. Hawa wanaotajwa ndo washindi wa kundi hilo la kwanza la zawadi inayotolewa na mkuu wa chuo. Kundi la pili ni zawadi inayotolewa na ofisi ya makamu mkuu wa chuo kutoka viti vyote. Hawa wanaotajwa ndio washindi wa zawadi hizo kutoka kundi hilo la zawadi zinazotolewa na ofisi ya makamu mkuu wa chuo. Ili kwa muda tafadhali pita mbele haraka ili uweze kupokea zawadi yako. Kundi la pili ni zawadi zinazotolewa na vitivyo, na ni vitivyo vyote kutoka kitivo cha biashara. Wafuatao ndo washindi kutoka kitivo cha sheria, kutoka kitivo cha sayansi ya jamii, tafadhali wote waliotajwa njooni mbele. Kundi la tatu la zawadi zetu ni zawadi inayotolewa kwa mwanafunzi bora wa kike wa chuo kikuu Huria, lakini hapa listi ni ndefu sana, kwa hiyo nitasoma kwa haraka ambayo ni program tofauti kutoka program tofauti, program kama vile biashara, rasilimali watu, fedha. Kwa hizo ni kozi tofauti ambazo wanafunzi hawa bora wa kike wamefanya vizuri kwenye kozi za biashara za kimataifa, mawasiliano ya umma, shahada ya sosiolojia. Hizi ni kozi zote ambazo zinatolewa na vitivo hivi ambapo wanafunzi hawa kike wamefanya vizuri. Wanaopita mbele kwa sasa ni wanaopokea zawadi bora katika kundi la zawadi la wanafunzi wa kike kike waliofanya vizuri zaidi kutoka katika program zao na vitivyo vyao. Na hii ni zawadi inayotolewa kwa chuo kikuu huria kwa wanafunzi wote wa kike waliofanya vizuri katika program zao. Tukitaja kwa majina ya baba yao, kwa hiyo si wanaume, yani wanawake, lakini walikuwa wakitajwa kwa majina ya baba zao, na hao ndio wanafunzi bora wa kike kutoka katika kila kitivyo. Na hii ni sehemu ya kuhamasisha wanafunzi wa kike na kuongeza elimu kwa wanafunzi wa kike. Kwa hiyo wanaume msitatizike wala msiwe na wivu. Kinachoendelea kwa sasa ni wanafunzi hao bora katika kundi hilo la zawadi zilizotolewa kwa wanafunzi wa kike waliofanya vizuri zaidi katika program zao na vitabu vyao. Kama yalivyotajwa majina yao, wanapita mbele kupewa zawadi zao za vyeti pamoja na kupiga picha na wageni rasmi. Kofi tafadhali. Kundi jingine la zawadi hizi ni zawadi binafsi. Ya kwanza ni zawadi inayotolewa na rais wa wanafunzi wa chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania. Hizi ni zawadi zinazotolewa na watu binafsi. Hizi ni zawadi zinazotolewa na rais wa taasisi ya wanafunzi wa chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania. Kundi jingine ni zawadi zinazotolewa na katibu mkuu wa AUTO, yani taasisi ya wanafunzi wa chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania, naye ni Michael Tumaini, ndio anakuja mbele kupokea zawadi hiyo. Kinachoendelea ni zawadi zinazoendelea kutolewa kwa wanafunzi mbalimbali. Zawadi za kwanza, kundi la kwanza la zawadi ilikuwa ni kwa zawadi iliyotolewa na mkuu wa chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania. Nikafuata kundi jingine la zawadi zilizotolewa na makamu mkuu wa chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania. Pia tukana zawadi kwa wanafunzi bora wa kike kutoka katika program na vitivo vyote vya chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania. Tukana zawadi pia kutoka kwa rais wa taasisi ya wanafunzi ya chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania. Pia tukana zawadi kutoka kwa katibu mkuu wa taasisi ya wanafunzi chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania. Na hizo zawadi zilizotoka kutajwa hapa ni zawadi ambazo zimetoka kutoka idara tofauti za chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania. Na hao ndo washindi kama unavyoona hapo mbele, wanapita kupokea vyeti pamoja na zawadi zao na kupiga picha na mgeni rasmi pamoja na wageni wengine wa heshima katika convocation hii ya 35 ya chuo kikuu huria cha Tanzania. Kundi jingine la zawadi linalotolewa ni kundi la zawadi linalotolewa kwa wanafunzi wenye mahitaji maalum. Hizi ni zawadi zinazotolewa kwa wanafunzi wenye mahitaji maalum na chuo kikuu huria. Chuo kikuu huria kina kitengo maalum cha wanafunzi wenye changamoto hizo. Zawadi nyingine inayofuata ni zawadi inayotolewa na TCRA. Hii ni zawadi mpya ya TCRA. Huyo ni mkuu wake wa idara ambaye anapiga vigelegele kwa furaha, nderemo na vifijo namna hiyo, ambaye amefurahishwa sana na zawadi hiyo. Na zawadi hiyo ya TCRA ni laptop, cheti pamoja na fedha taslimu kama inavyoonekana hapo. Wengine walioshinda zawadi hizo ni kama hawa wanaotajwa na wanaopita mbele. Tuwapigie makofi. Hizi zinazofuata ni zawadi zinazotolewa na Profesa Saidiali, ambazo zinatolewa kwa mwanafunzi bora wa kozi za ICT, yani teknolojia ya habari na mawasiliano. Na hiyo ni zawadi inayotolewa kwa waliofanya vizuri katika masomo ya hisabati. Kwa hiyo hawa unaoona ni wana mahesabu mahiri kabisa. Zawadi nyingine inayofuata ni zawadi ya Profesa.
This goes to two people. First one is William Janet. Second is Sanga Devota. A round of applause. This is awarded to the best student in Bachelor of Science in Food, Nutrition, Dietetics. The next one is Mr. Vincent Impepo Award. This goes to Orus David. Is he around? A round of applause. Okay. The next one is Outstanding Research Award. This is it's awarded to a PhD candidate who has published at least one article in a high-impact journal. And this goes to Habib J.S. Suluo from the Faculty of Business Management. Habib is not around. At least we can see his supervisor, Professor Gwaura. Shake a hand on it. And then there's the last prize. This is a Distinguished Senior Graduate Award. Not last by importance, but on the list. But it's an award that is really good. This goes to Peter Ngibuini. So this marks the end of our awards presentation. We would like to really extend our sincere appreciation to our donors and the students who have participated in the educational journey and were able to achieve high in their academic career. And we would like to encourage other organizations and individuals in other future convocations and graduations to participate in contributing to supporting education. We have different groups that need support, like the special needs students. We have a vibrant community here. They need your support. But also we have female students who also need to be encouraged, and the other groups as part of the process. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Kapaya, the keynote speaker and the Vice Chancellor, as well as the President, Chancellors, for a wonderful job that you have actually done. Indeed, it was nice, it was powerful, it was wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Now, okay, we are now moving forward with our program, and looking at it, it is now time for the keynote address. The keynote address, which is titled, Harnessing the Power of Emerging Technologies
for the delivery of affordable quality education in Africa. That is going to be delivered by Professor Avtar Darshan Singh. Allow me now to call upon the President, Professor Modesty Varisanga, who will be the chair of this particular session. Professor Varisanga, you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, MC. Without much ado, since I already narrated a bit about the keynote speaker, so I'm humbly inviting her to take the podium, but as we agreed, we must escort her with a round of applause, please. Madam.
I'm not sure, but I'll try. Ah, that's better. I was wondering how I'm going to see my slides. Yeah. Firstly, thank you to the Open University, Tanzania, for this opportunity to present my thoughts and research in this area. Yeah. I'd like to wish good morning to the distinguished leadership of the Open University of Tanzania, led by the eminent Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Alex Makulilo, and the President of Convocation Ceremony, Professor Modesty Varisanga. Respected colleagues, guests, alumni, and graduates, it is my pleasure to share some thoughts and ideas on harnessing emerging technologies for the delivery of affordable, equitable education in Africa. Actually, I still can't see it very well, but I'll try. Okay. So the title of the presentation today is Harnessing Emerging Technologies for Affordable and Quality Education in Africa. Yeah, is it possible if I go down there to deliver this? Yes, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so firstly, what I like to say is it's an honor to return to the Open University of Tanzania. I was here last year with my colleagues. We came here last year for the sole purpose of running workshops on AI in education, yeah? And now, I think for us, okay, Open University Tanzania is a pioneer in open and distance learning, yeah? And that has been transforming lives across the great nation for decades. Yeah, I think the programs that are offered at Open Universities throughout the world are very, very affordable, and I see that there is a distinguished faculty at this university. Okay, so today's focus is on the rise of artificial intelligence and its implication for education, yeah, what will artificial intelligence do for the future of our education? That's something that we would like to present, yeah. The transformative power of open distance learning and how open distance learning can leverage on these new technologies to have greater transformative power in teaching and learning and in our graduates, yeah. And how Open University Tanzania and Tanzania as a whole can lead Africa in affordable, quality, technology-enabled education. So, what kind of lens am I bringing to this congregation today, to this meeting today? Yeah, I bring a lens from the Asia Pacific University, from the Digital Learning Hub, and the UNESCO Chair. Okay. Now, Asia Pacific University has been a leader in technology-related programs. Our graduates are the highest paying graduates, and throughout the world, yeah, we have students from 130 countries. Not only students, we have a faculty from so many different countries. So it's a vibrant international setting where quality is very important to us, yeah? Now, the Digital Learning Hub, I have been advisor to the Digital Learning Hub, where I have 6 staff with me. And the main purpose of the Digital Learning Hub is to transform digital learning at the Asia Pacific University. Now, I joined the university 5 years ago. Before that, I was teaching at, I was the Dean for School of Education at Dubai, Hamdan bin Muhammad Smart University. Before that, I was in Malaysia at various universities. And one of the universities was the Open University Malaysia, which I was a pioneer in helping to set the university up, yeah? Now, as the UNESCO Chair, my mandate is on harnessing innovative technologies to support quality teaching and learning, okay? I think there is more in my slides on this, and I will try to do that. Yeah. Now, as the UNESCO Chair, last year and this year, we held the ASEAN AI in Education Stakeholders Summit. Yeah, and apart from that, under the UNESCO Chair, we also have the team that is propagating AI in education, called AIDE, A-I-D-E. So what is our proof of concept and proof of experience in me standing here today to share some of our work that is on the ground, yeah? Now, for the ASEAN Summit, we had participants from 11 ASEAN countries and 14 other countries last year. Similarly, this year, we had the same numbers, and we had a lot of discussions on the ground, and we did a research in the ASEAN country with almost, and this research is being published at the moment, yeah? Now, where the AI in education is concerned, we have trained close to 8,000 people in almost 24 countries, yeah? Last year, on the invite of the university and Dr. Janet, who is the co-chair for UNESCO, we came here also to train some of you, yeah? So the impact of our training, my team, I have a team of 6 people. One of them is from Singapore, and he travels with us quite a bit to train people on AI in education. So what we are trying to say is we have had a lot of experience in the use of AI. We created the AI guidelines and policy for our students in April of 2023. So we are actually seen as the leaders in the use of emerging technologies. I think I can say that in Asia, but also in different parts of the world. I don't think that's very clear again. I actually need to move this up. I can see. Okay. So why does all this that I have shared with you matter for Africa and Tanzania? Okay. Now, if you look at the tertiary gross enrollment rate throughout the world and in Africa and Tanzania, you can see that Tanzania is quite low at the tertiary gross enrollment rate. Yeah? So we need to increase this, what the Vice Chancellor have mentioned just now, at an affordable rate by the use of technologies. So, and then these figures are from the UNESCO report that I have gotten, yeah? So the critical challenge throughout is low enrollments. So how do you increase the enrollments by the use of technology, okay? The gap between educational access and economic opportunity is widening, you know. Naturally, the more accessible you are to technology, the more you will be able to gain into the access for better employment and a better social economic status, yeah? So how do we do that? And while I was at the Open University Malaysia, we started with 753 students in the year 2000, and by this year we have 180,000 students, because we started early with the technology. So I would think that one of the things that should happen at the Open University Tanzania with the AI is to quickly embrace it. I do believe a lot of us have questions about the ethical use of AI, but those questions has been there even before the technology. The ethical submission of your assignments done by somebody else. I mean, this is a debate. If you want to, you can go on debating, but we don't want to. It will be addressed by all the policies in the university. The university have policies on dishonesty that will be addressed, yeah? But the university has to move forward, because we don't want to keep on haggling and discussing issues that will always be there. So what we want to do as a university is to now look at the available technology and see what can be done. Now, on the learner landscape at the Open University, motivation to learn, but then on the university side, it puts pressure on the university, because you have very motivated students coming to the university and they are expecting to have a voice, they are expecting to make an impact in the classroom, they are expecting many things. So then what is the game plan of the university in terms of addressing these adult learners with technology now? Yeah, I'm not saying that you have not been, you have been doing a great job. Now, and the university is already flexible in the way you have close to 32 regional centers. You are already flexible in many ways, but with the use of the modern technologies, we feel there is a lot more that can be done, which brings me to the key challenge, okay? How do we personalize support at scale? How do we do that? How do we give each and every student the personalization that they want? We are already so personalized. You know, in my home, there is no more a landline telephone. Everybody has got their own phones. Everybody has got their own cars. Everybody has got their own TV monitors. Our life is already so personalized. So how about teaching and learning? How do we do it? We have done it. We are doing it. So we can share what we have done with the technology for personalized. That's a lot. Of course, my staff of 6 people, they know they are on the ground. They are doing the work all the time. So, and we have the models to help Tanzania and the Open University Tanzania to reach there. Yeah. So, we are sharing something called reimagining the university in an AI era. Okay. From university as a place to university as a network. So networking, as all of you know, is very important. Our alumni are here today. They are our greatest networks. Your international partners are your greatest networks. How do you capitalize on that? So how do you change the image of the Open University of Tanzania from a university just placed, or no, I'm sure you are known a lot, but how do you expand this? You know, how do you go beyond many, many shores? How do you get people in Asia, from where I come, to know about this, this impact that you are making? We need to do that, yeah? Now, how do you reimagine the university? Is from AI as a threat. A lot of people think AI is a threat. It's not. AI is our partner. It helps us. It's our assistant. So we need to capitalize on our partners, on our assistant, okay? To AI as infrastructure for learning support. How do you use AI to support the learning process? That's very important. And from quality as compliance, okay, to quality as ethical stewardship of data, knowledge, and relationships, yeah? So what is the new meaning of quality now? Is it always complying? Is it always, you know, getting the Turnitin to check if things have been plagiarized? I don't think that we want to go that way all the time, because the world is moving on and we are still looking at old-fashioned ideas. Now, education has changed a lot. If we visit some of the more progressive universities around the world, you would see that, of course, some are still debating. I know universities in the UK, in the US, they are still debating the ethical use of AI. But for us, in Asia and in Africa, it is leveling of the playing field. AI has given us the ammunition to level the playing field. We have never been leveled in the playing field of education. We are good, but who gets the funding? Who gets their papers published? Not us, because we don't have research assistants, we don't have graduate assistants, we don't have any assistant. So when you have AI, you use the AI as an assistant. We are still the experts. You can say anything you can do with AI, but as the real intelligent people, if we don't check on what the AI is giving us, the AI is just as good as you if you don't check. That is what you will reflect. If you don't check the work by AI, you will be reflecting yourself. So if something of poor quality gets out of your table or your desk, don't blame the AI, please. So your intelligence is more important. So now this is about how do you reimagine a new university. Now, Open University Tanzania must shape its identity in a landscape of global MOOCs. I think your Vice Chancellor mentioned that as well. Generative AI tutors. You know, our students at the Asia Pacific University tells us, I don't want to listen to you talking. I can listen it to you in YouTube. I want to be engaged. So there are a lot of AI tutors there. Your students can use them. But what your students are coming in to be with you is they want to engage with you. They want you to talk to them, okay? Digital credentials and alternative providers. And there are going to be a lot more alternative providers. So our universities are in quite a bit of a conundrum because many organizations are setting up their own universities. Motorola University, so many of these organizations. So we need to speed up. I have a staff coming from Pakistan to work from me and one from Japan. Out of my 6 people, 3 of them, 2 from Pakistan and 1 from Japan are working with me. They said, we have never seen this pace of work that you all are doing. We work at the speed of everything because we know if we don't do that, somebody else is going to be taking that speed from you, yeah? So let's move on to an AI augmented university. So what do you mean when we say an AI augmented university? So AI is not just a gadget that you add on and say, oh, now I have another add-on, another app in my mobile phone or in my computer. That's not the case. AI has to be used intelligently, responsibly, and to be shared. You don't keep the AI knowledge to yourself, yeah? Now, and it becomes part of core infrastructure that fundamentally transforms how we support learning at scale. Now, I have a lot of points there, but I'm just going to share what we are doing at the Asia Pacific University. And recently, I was at the University of Memphis, Tennessee in USA. So I'm seeing what is it that is happening in the US and what is happening in the ASEAN region. Now, in the ASEAN region, Singapore is tops. It's the best always in the use of technologies, yeah? We are thankful one of our UNESCO chair partner is from Singapore. He is the one who goes traveling everywhere. He is a philanthropist. He doesn't demand any money. He doesn't demand anything for his time. He keeps on training people in the use of AI. But at our university, we are already building special programs that incorporate AI into the system, meaning into the learning management system, so that it will help our lecturers a little bit more. You know, sometimes our lecturers, our professors have to grade 700 scripts, 800 scripts. It's a lot of work. I met one professor and he said, you know, he said, last year I didn't have any Christmas break. I didn't have any New Year's break. What was I doing? I was grading papers. Now, is that something we want in this age for people to just keep on slogging like that? No, I wouldn't want that kind of a life, but I want a life where technology can support me to do some of my routine stuff and I can give my time to my students, my personal time. And that is the time that the students want, 24/7 student support, okay? Personalized pathways, design support, and also early intervention, okay? So for an AI augmented university, the university leadership, which I believe, and I have no doubt, is a great leadership. I've been talking to them since this morning, and I can see that there is a great passion to incorporate technology, to incorporate AI, and to bring the university to a different level, yeah? Now, so for AI and assessment, assessment is something that will change, yeah? We train a lot of our professors in new way of writing their assessment. Because if you are still using the old way of assessment, write an essay, write an assignment, do this, your students are all on AI, professors. Believe us. During our orientation of new students, we always do this. We ask the students, how many of you have used AI? We ask them to stand. How many of you have used AI in today? A group will sit down. Yesterday, a group will sit down. Last week, another group will sit down. Last month, normally we are left with only one student who may not have used AI. So believe us, your students are using it. You need to do the right things for the assessment. How are you going to change this assessment? So we started actually 2 years ago, training and building systems to support our lecturers in terms of assessments, okay? So AI affords a lot of things in terms of assessment. Again, our ethics will help us to determine what we want to do with AI and what we don't want to do, okay? So now at this juncture, there are 3 critical questions that we want to put forward. How do we verify authorship and maintain academic integrity? This is a great question, okay? We have to reflect on that. What biases exist in scoring models and how do we detect them? You see, there are a lot of biases, that's without doubt. AI has been created by somebody else, not by the African region, not by the Asian region. So there are a lot of biases, but if we don't use the AI, if we don't input, if we don't prompt the AI, if we don't keep on questioning AI, the biases will remain as Western biases. So we have to do our job with the available AI, yeah? And how do we ensure transparency? Why did the model give the grade? Now, we have done a lot of these pilot studies on grading using AI. We've done so many at the Asia Pacific University. So then if you do that, then you can determine the biases and you need to ask the right questions, yeah? So a suggestion for direction for Open University Tanzania is design AI-supported human-supervised assessment systems. The humans will still need to look at those assessments. The most important thing is us as teachers, we have to have the ethics in the use of the AI. Then only can you transfer those ethics to your students. Okay, so that's very important. Okay, so now beyond tools, okay, what is the Africa Digital Learning Fabric, right? Okay, so a more ambitious model that simply adding AI and IoT and blockchain is to integrated framework for Africa's ODL systems with Open University Tanzania as an early adopter. So we are here to support the university, you know, so that you can quickly adopt and quickly be the leader in Africa in the use of AI in open distance learning, okay? Now, so number 1, human and pedagogical layer. This is so important, you know, the human touch and the knowledge on pedagogical principles and theories. The Open University Malaysia is where it is today. I like to tell all of you, the Open University Malaysia gives bonuses to their staff and they work only 4.5 days. Why? They have really maximized the use of instructional design in the preparation of all their modules. So instructional design, instructional technology, learning technology, Professor Leonard is something that we probably will be discussing more. is very needed, okay? How human and pedagogy interact. Now, we have experimented. We give tools to professors, academics, teachers. They are very happy. Oh, I use this tool, I use that tool. But our students are telling us that they are not engaging us. They are using the tools, but they are not engaging us. They are using the tools. They are using PowerPoint and reading from the PowerPoint. They are doing so many things with tools, but the pedagogical knowledge is not there. So, Faculty of Education, Center for Curriculum and Instruction is where most of you might want to visit. In fact, I think you do have a Center for Learning Design and Technology here. You do. So that's the center that will support. I was director of the center at the Open University Malaysia for 8 years. And we did a lot of this training, staff training on how to use instructional design. That's very important, okay? Now the second one is the intelligence layer, the AI layer, okay? Tutoring, and I say AI gives us a lot of analytics. How do we use this analytics to support the teaching and learning for, see, open distance learning students are always wanting to be seen. The minute they post some forum discussion and you don't respond, they lose interest. So we have a system where the AI can detect it and alert us. Somebody has responded something, you know. So, and the AI even gives us a suggested answer. Now you don't just cut and paste those answers, but what we do is we have to read what all the students have given, and my proposal to my lecturers is always you summarize it. You summarize what is the discussion that is going on. So that we need to, what they say, humanize the AI. You don't make the AI just as a robotic tool for you, but you try to humanize it, yeah? The third one is the trust layer. Blockchain is very important. I'm sure you have professors here who are in computer science and who are very good in these technologies, in the use of blockchain technologies to give the trust to be able to tell somebody, yes, I got this certificate from the Open University Tanzania. It's not a fake certificate, it's something that I got from here. So that is what the blockchain will do. Sensing and access layer using the Internet of Technologies, so that all the technologies are connected to each other, and it makes life easier for everybody when you use IoT. I know in Rwanda, one of the universities is very good with the use of IoT, yeah? Of course, governance and partnership, very important. What have you created to support the academics, to support the students in terms of the governance? What kind of policies have you created? In fact, the first thing that we need to do in the use of AI is to come up with a policy for all students and all academics, yeah? I don't think I'm going to go in detail of the layers because, and these slides can be shared with everybody because this is just going to go in more detail, and I don't think I have the time because I think I'm given 30 minutes for that. So I will move on. These are all the three, the layers in expanded versions of the layers, okay? I'll move on to the next section. I think I'm almost ending, okay? So looking at key investments for Open University Tanzania's next 3 to 5 years. Number one, capacity building, so important. From the CEOs, we have AI for CEO as well, yeah, for the top, just for them, just a very niche group. And our partner in Singapore has done in Singapore many times for the CEOs in Singapore, yeah. And AI for students, AI for Faculty AI for the administrators. We did that last year here. I think last year when we did it, we were glad to know that people were very excited about the power of AI, okay? So the first thing is capacity building. And we have many modules. Open University Tanzania can use our modules. You can take them and you can train them under the UNESCO Chair Partnership, please. And they are online, the modules are online. You can get us to do it online for you as well. In any way you feel you need. Now the second one is, of course, the infrastructure. So the top management have to talk to the computer experts and look at how the AI, IoT, blockchain infrastructure can be built together. And then pilot projects, okay, how you should pilot whatever that you are planning to do in a few courses so that you get something out of there and then you share it again. And research and evidence, the most important. Without the research and evidence, no one is going to believe what you are talking. You can look at our research from APU. We have done a lot and published as well in Q1 and Q2 journals, okay? Then there's the phased roadmap, Open University Tanzania as African path breaker, okay? I think the Vice Chancellor has already stated, you know, what is his desire, you know, what he hoped to see to change, yeah? So these are, you know, 1 to 2 years projects that you all can have a look at, you know, that they are not just things that are over 10 years. This is no more fashionable anymore. Things move so fast. You can't wait for 10 years, yeah? When I was at Hamdan University in Dubai, our Vice Chancellor used to say, build something that will last 10 years. We can't do it anymore. When AI came into the picture, you can't build anything that lasts for 10 years anymore. The max you can go is probably 2 to 3 years, yeah? So build on systems, you know, incrementally. Start with a small set, which is how we did at the Asia Pacific University as well, yeah? Challenges and ethical dilemmas we must not ignore, okay? Epistemic justice, your Vice Chancellor is better in this. Biases and exclusion, okay? You need to look at what are some of the biases. There are a lot of biases. When you start using, you will be able to detect the biases and you will be able to rectify it on your own. You need to rectify some of the biases, okay? Of course, there is a lot of biases towards the Western communities, but we keep on building on these biases. We keep on improving these biases, yeah? Linguistic equity, okay? Now, AI can help us with many languages. And I think this, for me, is the most powerful use of AI that I have seen. I talk to AI, and I ask if I cannot speak a language, if I can speak Swahili. I can demonstrate to you now how I can talk to AI, and then AI can speak in Swahili for me, and speak to you, and then come back to me. So the system is there. It is so powerful. We just have to start using it. Okay, and data ownership. Of course, this is the biggest question. Who owns the data? We have the PDPA that will help us in terms of data ownership. Again, go by the rules. There are rules, there are regulations. I think we cannot ignore them, but we can look at them and see how we can work around this, yeah? And of course, the human role, we must see how we can now emphasize the role of teachers, educators in the classroom. We did a research 20 years ago. We asked students, what is it that you want your teachers to do? Simple answer, we want them to talk to us. We can play that role now with AI, yeah? We had to wait that long, but now AI is here. Okay. AI and the human story of learning. Okay, I'm going to skip this and go to the last one. So I will say asante sana, thank you, but I'm not done yet. Okay, a call to co-leadership. Okay, a call to co-leadership. Now, actually, this is nothing new to your leadership, yeah? I'm sure your leadership is very aware. I think the step is to do the networking and to capitalize, especially the alumni is very important, yeah? Talk, you know, make inroads, yeah? So what is the clear vision for Open University Tanzania? What is the bold action that you are going to take? What is the strategic investments that you are going to do, you are going to make? What are your strong partnerships? Okay. And last but not least, what are the African values? So we must not run away from our own value system. Africa has got a great value system, okay, and cultures, languages, you know, all those have to be used in a way that will project the use of technology and how to harness the technology to our advantage. I think the important thing is don't let anybody who is not knowledgeable talk to you about AI, please. If someone has not done work on the ground, if someone has not published, please, the only thing they will start talking to you is ethics, plagiarism, blah, 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 you know, because they don't actually know what is happening on the ground. If you use AI correctly, you can go far, but keep on holding to your African values, the ethical part. Every university has that, ethics in the use, in examination. So it's not that we don't have. We have all this already. What we need to do is we need to have strong partnerships, strong visions, and strong commitment. The most important one is the upskilling. You need to train people so that everybody is together. If you don't train the whole university, then some will say, oh, you know, they don't know what is it. So you need to get good training done so that you are one voice moving forward. We are very lucky at Asia Pacific University because our CEO has been with the university for 40 years. From day one, he started computing for computing programs 40 years ago. He's still with us. So he's our lead. He is the person who is giving us a lot of human values to move forward. With that, asante sana again, thank you, and I hope that I have given you some bullet points to think about, to discuss, and I wish Open University Tanzania a great journey forward. We must not underestimate ourselves. We can do it. Yeah? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Professor Aptar Darshan Singh. I think it was more than enough. It was wonderful. Colleagues, how was it? Yeah? And those who are actually reluctant to allow our students the use of or applying AI in our teaching, I think it's an eye-opener, the speech, the presentation. Yes, I have been informed that there was, while we were giving the awards, some of our distinguished students were not around. I'm told 2 of them have arrived, so we shall spare about 5 minutes to
proceed with the award giving. We really appreciate their success. So, members, allow me to withhold this. It's only one, eh?
You will forgive us. We forgot one item here. We skipped one award, which is very important to us and to the university. You will forgive us for this small interruption. So I'd like to ask our distinguished high table here to stand here. As we did before, we have one person that we skipped. Not intentionally, but you will forgive us. Now, we actually awarded the Distinguished Senior Graduate Award to Peter Ngibuini, which is okay. But you have another person that is also going to be awarded the same Distinguished Senior Graduate Award. This is actually awarded to the Distinguished Senior PhD student at this convocation. And this is Dr. Mary Bishota. Please clap for her. Mary Mbuthia Bishota. This mother has done a PhD in law, supervised by Professor Alex Makulilo and Dr. Abdallah Ali. Your clappings are not enough. Please, add more claps. So we will essentially hold some interview later with these two people who have done their PhD at this age. So DCM, please make arrangement for that interview later after this convocation session so that we may learn from them, their academic journey and experience, and keep it in our records for that purpose. Thank you very much. Otherwise, we are going now to resume to our normal timetable. Thank you very much.
That is wonderful. The vigelegeles are not enough. Dr. Mkude, are you around? Thank you very much. Professor Varisanga, you can move on.
Yeah, thank you. I think now, even with the use of AI, we can have more people of that kind graduating. Okay? Okay, without wasting more time, may I now call upon the discussants to make their case. We start with Professor Msele or Kimambo? Who is ready? Kimambo? Professor Kimambo, please.
The President of Convocation, Professor Varisanga, distinguished guest speaker, Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellors, and distinguished participants. First of all, I thank the management of Open University of Tanzania for giving me this honor to be one of the discussants for this keynote presentation. But before I proceed, maybe I should first admit I'm one of those discussants who is not really an expert in this subject. And this, as you know, is a new subject to us here in our country. So I'm not an expert. Professor Msele later is going to give his comments. I believe they'll be more learned than mine. So I'm speaking strictly as a user of IA, or potential user, rather than an expert. And based on the level of the speech which you have seen in terms of the mastery of the subject, but also the experience, looking at what the Asia Pacific University has done, I think it makes it very difficult for a discussant to raise important issue on this, especially since, and I think you heard her last comment or caution, if you haven't done anything in AI, anybody who has not done anything in AI or has not worked in that, meaning application, you should not listen to them. And I think I'm one of those people you should not listen to. But of course we have our feelings, and I think what she said, most of our concerns, our worries, our questions, yeah, which of course are based, they have basis, but I think given what was presented here, it seems we have to move forward anyway, whether we are worried about them or we are not. After all, our students are already using AI, yeah, whether we have allowed them or not, but also I believe our professors are also using it. I believe, I'm not sure. But of course, many might be using it. So we have to do something. We cannot sit back and say, this is not good. Okay, if it's not good, can we stop it? Can we say our students, you should not use AI? If I give a tutorial, for example, or an assignment to students, yeah, and they go and use AI, how can I prevent them? I can't. So they come with the correct answer. Of course, not a printout from AI. They present it in their own way, and they get the correct answer. Would you say this is wrong? No, maybe we can't. So, in a way, I say I was very impressed by the speech, especially after presentation. Before that, I received a version of the speech or PowerPoint presentation, and I had a lot of comments I thought I was going to make. But after that presentation, I think I would say, to a large extent, more than 90% or 95%, I agree with what the keynote presenter presented to us. AI is already here. Maybe we are late. We have to embrace it. See how we can apply it in our own environment, our own country, our own continent, and our own institutions. But we really have to embrace it, and we cannot shy away from it. So I thank you, Professor Singh, for the wonderful presentation. And of course, the offer that you are going to support our institution, or you have already started that. And from what you explained here, I think most of the questions, especially with regard to ODL here, already have solutions, which I would caution might not apply 100% to Tanzania. I've seen, for example, saying that you teach students responsible use of AI. Will that work 100%? And I would be happy to learn from you how successful you have been in that. I know I've lived with friends from Asia. The culture there is different from ours, but I think that's one of the challenges. Responsible use of AI in order to not to compromise academic integrity, or that's one of the key challenges. Otherwise, we really support your model. Your model of the university, you call reimagining the university in AI era. I think that is very well presented, especially the assessment. I think that's the challenge, and I think that will help. First of all, two things which I take the expansion of enrollment, but how you can handle large classes, being able to mark assignment, but still get time to interact or engage with the students. And that is a key challenge. And I really emphasize that point. We should not use AI as a robotic tool. We should have that human aspect integrated to it. And we would really want to see how you are doing it in Asia Pacific. Lastly, on your conclusion or your way forward for OUT, I think that also is very, very important. We are in a country where AI is still at an infant stage. We have guidelines from the ministry, but we are now working on institutional policies and so on. We have seen the UNESCO government and UNESCO readiness plan or assessment report. So I think what you recommended, maybe it can be applied, not per se. For example, establishing AI in ODL center, that is possible, but it can also be part of the existing institutes or organs of the university. But I think the importance of emphasizing on AI is very important, the policy aspect, but also we are glad to see that, and you mentioned very briefly about Rwanda, but we would have liked to hear more. We know there are countries in Africa, Rwanda, Kenya, Ghana, and South Africa, who have been able to pilot AI use in education. So that will also be very, very useful to us. But otherwise, we see it as an opportunity to overcome our limitations, and our limitation, especially in higher education in Tanzania right now, is high student-teacher ratio, issues of cost, and accessibility of higher education. So we believe AI is going to help us if we can really design it in a way that it addresses all those challenges and concerns of all our stakeholders, not only the academic staff, but also students and the community, our employers, and so on. So I thank you very much, and we really have benefited from your presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Kimambo. May I now invite Professor Msele.
Can I have that speaker? Because I admire the keynote speaker so much, I'm going to behave like that. Well, I have to thank the Open University management and all the community members for daring to give me this opportunity to be here, because normally I am a very old person, but this may be the first time I have had this opportunity, because I am not so much of a pleasant person in such occasions. However, when I saw the content by the keynote speaker, two things struck me. First, they were very, very short, only 11 PowerPoints. Can we applaud her for that? And again, they were completely focused on the theme. So, and I am going to try to behave like her, although I don't think I'm going to get to that level. The first thing is that for all who have listened, she's telling us that fear of technology is something historical. And everyone will remember, when computers were coming, there were so many shouts. They are going to replace secretaries, they are going to replace jobs and whatever. But today they are here, and we still need them, and they are still becoming a commonplace. So AI is just part of that. That is one. So you don't have to fear. Again, one thing that I want to emphasize from what she said, I believe, it's not I believe, I am sure all of you here have already been using AI in one or another. If you are writing in the modern word processor, if you are going to use that button which is called format painter, you know, it transfers a certain format which you have already formalized. Then you can just use that particular mouse to transfer it to every part of your text as you may want. That is AI. So you don't have to be afraid that AI is not something so much special, something so much arcane. It is already there, and most of you are using it. So I am not going to venture so much on what the keynote speaker has already presented. When I read this, and when I'm looking at the theme, when I read her presentation, I saw she's saying that ODL, AI, Open University, these are the vehicles for knowledge, for wisdom, for truth. And she presented here a very rosy situation from where she's coming from. I am not a pessimist. I'm a very good optimist, but I'm realist. And now I am going to turn to you and her to discuss. Professor, stupidity is taking hold, and very fast. And it is being enabled by technology. My concern is, and with AI now, it's going to be even faster, actually. So I would now turn back to you because of your presentation, your experience, so that again we may want some people to contribute. How are we going to face this wave of stupidity taking hold of education, taking hold of normal life, and how, with your having experience, can we use AI at least to counter that? Thank you.
I will take this. So thank you for raising this discord, which is very important. Intelligent people are becoming stupid, actually. Our intelligent students, because they might be a little bit lazy, then they turn to AI. Okay. So good question. This is what we are doing. I will just share whatever we are doing, okay? And we are doing because we wanted to do it. We wanted to prove that it can be otherwise. Okay. So the first thing we did is we changed our assessment, because the only stupidity that will happen is during the assessment. Because if it is not checked, then things can bypass the students' brains. Yeah, it can go like that. It won't go through. So first thing we did was we trained our academics to rewrite their assessments. The first thing. Reformat their assessments to have at least 20 to 30% in-class test, exam, or whatever. If it was completely project-based, it has to turn around. Because the in-class test is the only way you can assure yourself that you have graded the student fairly. Because if a student is, in inverted commas, again, they're stupid, inverted commas, they're not stupid, yeah? They're actually very intelligent. They are using the AI in a very intelligent way, but they are not getting the content. Now, then you will know from the in-class test. So we have included that. The third thing is the change in assessment is also on authentic. More problem-based learning, more project problem-based learning type of questions. So that They go out, they go and find a problem, and it is a process-based assessment. We don't do assessment like, okay, you know, you have a deadline on the 31st of December, and I give you an assessment in early September, you pass it up then. No, we don't do that anymore. It's process-based. So the first 10% of assignment must come in. What is the problem you discovered? You present, we discuss. Then the next 20% of the assessment must come in. What are the strategies that you have discussed with your teammates? What are the proposals? Blah, 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 blah. So that is one aspect. The second aspect that we are doing is we are asking students to share their prompting with us. Because we know they are using. There's no doubt about it. How did you prompt the AI to reach to this answer? That's the other thing. They need to share their prompts so that we can see whether they have told the AI, okay, this is my assignment question, plonk it in and get the answer, or this is an assignment question and this is how I want to go about doing it. What is your process of coming to the final answer? That's the third thing that we are doing. Students to share the prompting with us. Of course, the third or fourth thing is for you to emphasize the ethical use, okay? As our learned professor have said just now, during the discussion, you need to go back and you need to constantly remind your students that you are bounded by the ethics in the university on how you submit your work. So these are some of the things that we are doing currently that I can share. And I'm sure if we ask our students, they might tell us some stories here. I hope that's okay, Professor. Thank you.
Okay, now I invite members here present. If you have any question, comment to make following the presentation made by the professor. I see some hands. Dr. Samzugi and Mbiki.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, my colleagues. Thank you again for the presenter for a very good presentation. I have two comments to make with regard to the presentation, and especially in the concept of ODL. How AI is going to, because ODL is intended to reach many people who, for one reason or another, they have missed the opportunity. And my question is, how AI is going to facilitate to reach the unreachable? And is it going to remove the digital divide for those who have the opportunity and those who have no opportunity to access such services which are offered by the AI? Again, and this is a humble request, OUT has been working closely with COL. I heard you are coming from COL. You are an expert from COL. Am I right? Yeah, for many years. And OUT is here because of the contribution, kind contribution from COL and the UNESCO. And if it is possible, based on your position as the chair of UNESCO, I propose, because this is an emerging issue, I propose if we can have a joint program between OUT and COL, especially on issues which are related in these new technologies. I am sure by doing so, we are going to make OUT great again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Ambiki Msumi from the Faculty of Law. Thank you for your excellent presentation. I've heard from people of different caliber that AI is not new at all. Some even go further by saying that even calculators are generics of AI. If this is the case, then how old is the AI? Can you explain to many of us a bit of historical background globally? Thank you.
Yes. Are they the only two issues?
Any other contributor?
I think we should take all so that when we allow the discussant to wind up.
Yes.
So
any
other follow-up issue, please?
Professor Mafutani.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. I also, as a proud user of AI, I have a few, because it's very important to give that disclaimer. I'm not a technical guy. I'm just a user, proud user. I use it every day now and then on these repetitive issues. But I know also there's that risky of, because AI is another brain. It's a computer, it's an artificial intelligence, as we know, a Kilimnemba. So you may find yourself using a machine's intelligence, and then your brain becomes dormant. But anyway, with that caution, I needed to talk on two things. I know that we can really use AI for many things, for money making, for business, for work, and all these other issues. And I was actually reading somewhere, and the author of where I was reading was actually saying that there are levels of AI usage, and that most of us users are on the bottom line basic level, which he called it prompting. We are simply prompting. We prepare prompt. Even the prompt that we prepare are not perfect. You ask ChatGPT, for example, or maybe Grok or something, what is this, blah, blah. So it's like you're interacting. It's simply prompting. So your human involvement is still huge, you see? But he went further to say that there are other higher levels of usage. For example, automation, where you can predefine tasks and then AI can do that for you. Then there's agenting, which is more of God-driven, where the system that can be created can... actually, these are things that can be built by users. Okay, you create an agent which can actually work for you on these. It can, for example, answer emails for you. It can do this or that, etc., depending on how you design it. So it's a system that has a brain, etc. There are things, there are ways in these trainings that we have been attending, you can design that. And then there's the level of orchestration, where you have multiple agents or systems that are interacting in a complex way, performing your tasks in your absence, actually. They receive information and then they act on the information that they receive, for example, from your suppliers or from your students, for example, etc. Then there's autonomous AI organization, an entire organization working as an AI, doing works and then making money. Now, coming back to the context of ODL, education, etc., and so on and so forth, I was wondering possibly from the speaker, if you can enlighten me on this, how best really can we engage AI at this level with this current development in AI, but also the current situation that we have as specifically as third world countries here. How best can we engage AI in terms of these levels and various levels of AI usage? I know there have been various trainings, even the BBC guys, they born before computers. The professors that are old have been subjected to these trainings about AI, but I've observed that the training that we are getting is mostly basic. We are being taught how to prompt the AI, but how really can we upscale to use AI to the potential that it gives us, so that we may reap so much, a lot from the use of AI. Thank you very much.
Another,
yes.
Yeah, from Professor Msele. No. Okay.
Thank you. I would like to ask the presenter the model of assessment, as she has said, that we need to redefine them so that they can align with the AI. Maybe can you help us, instead of having that question, maybe it could be essay question, or maybe what can we really do in order to have the questions that are elevated in order to meet the needs of the candidates or the learners who are doing studies nowadays, in order to ensure that they can use optimum, maybe they can use their brain instead of just depending on AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just wanted to answer the question that was asked here concerning the brief history of AI. One, I find that the word AI has been so much hyped, and it is somehow losing its entire meaning. It is true. AI. Nobody here who has written a text in a computer has not been using something like spell checker. Spell checker is an AI tool that was embedded in that particular facility. Then these days, you have a grammar checker. You upload the entire text. It checks and reformat your text to the degree of what you want, and so forth and so forth. However, if you feel you are urinating so frequently in a day, and then you go to your app and you start telling it, today I urinated 5 times and whatever, when I'm walking I hear pain here and there, and then it generates an answer to that is an I, and I know many people have been doing those kind of things. So, to answer to your question, actually, don't be threatened by the word AI. My message and the message of the keynote speaker is that when you feel like you need to use it, just use it and seek for the application that will enable you to solve the problem that you want to solve using it. However, if you are a student and you want to write the proposal for your research, now instead of writing it, you just go to the computer and you start seeking for any topic that is already, or you just in a minimum way, you say, I want to research on, let's say, genocide in Rwanda. And then you use AI to generate a proposal which is already well thought and well written on that, and you present it as a good user of AI. That is why I find that you are enhancing stupidity. And the danger that I was talking here about stupidity with technology is that I read it, and don't forget, you have to read a lot of books. Written books must be read, and you have to read and read and read books. Don't allow the computer to replace your reading habit. Don't allow the computer to replace reading habit for your children, because that is the pathway to stupidity. Reading, becoming wise, looking for ambiguities. Now, you don't have to allow the computer to take over the human capacity for dealing with the ambiguities, because that is one where you are coming to kill your own brain as a muscle. So just to answer the question is that the degree of how you use AI will depend on how you want it to do the task that you want it to do, but don't be carried away. Thank you.
Yeah, there was a hand there. I think that is the last, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I also have to thank the presenter. That was an excellent presentation, especially for people who are on the far end of technology. Now, eyes are being opened that what people threaten us with are actually not miracles. These are things that we've been living with. We have to continue living with them. Now, I liked Professor Msele's observation at the beginning, and unfortunately he has repeated again. AI is making intelligent people stupid. But what people are not saying is that AI is also making stupid people intelligent. Stupid people are now being made intelligent. They can work on their own. They can find out materials. They don't have to rely on the intelligent. Maybe the intelligent are now being jealous. If we want to accept and benefit from AI, we have to look at it as part of the evolution of human being. We started far back. Here we are today. And we will not be here tomorrow. If you are afraid of AI today, maybe pray that you die today. Tomorrow is coming, and it is coming with more developments. So AI is not as bad as people are seeing it. It's a way of life. We have to live it. Lecturers may be afraid of students getting better and better materials when they are not intelligent. Now, how do you measure that? If he is able to get better materials, that is part of intelligence. Don't belittle that person. That is stupidity getting intelligent. So AI should not threaten anybody. It is part of our evolution. We are going forward. We have this today. We won't have it tomorrow. We have something better tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Please, AI for us users is a great help. Don't be afraid of seeing your students getting better answers when you have already categorized them as stupid. Maybe you are reflecting your own stupidity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The last commenter. I allow now the keynote speaker to wind up so that we proceed.
Well, thank you all so much. I think you all have raised very legitimate comments and questions. Yeah, I will try my best. I'm not the guru here. We are very collaborative in our work at Asia Pacific University. But to the first question on digital divide, so again, my team has some solutions for that. They actually, together with Dr. Jonathan, and who's the other professor from Montreal, they trained in Paris, UNESCO, for the Digital Learning Week on how to create servers that will benefit people who has low bandwidth and don't have too many gadgets. So that was one thing that was done. Recently, our partner in Singapore said that he can build a whole server for, because we are also doing some community projects. So there's one community which is in the rural area. He said he's going to build a whole server for them where they access the materials from that server. So it's possible. that the digital divide can be addressed by people who are in this area. So there are solutions, as our learned friends have already attested to. There are solutions. Now, for historical background of AI, sorry, I'm not the pure AI expert. I'm an educationist. But I can say generative AI is different from the hard AI. The generative AI is what we are using, ChatGPTs and all the stuff. Its role is to generate, from the word generative. The role is mainly to generate, and you speak to it in normal language. Okay, so that's what I can say about that question. Now, for levels of AI use, very nice, Professor Kapaya. Now, we have started engaging AI as our strategic partner. So again, some of my colleagues, they talk to AI almost every morning, brainstorming with AI on strategic issues, making AI their board members. So there's one staff who created 3 board members, and he speaks to AI with these 3 board members every morning when he walked to work. 2 kilometers, he talked to AI. When he go back, he again talked to AI. So you can use AI in so many different ways, yeah? So that's possible as well. How best can we engage AI for ODL? Okay. Again, a lot of the learning management systems have already built AI into their system. It's amazing. We were showed one system about a month ago. So amazing that it blows you up. You put all your materials, like all the years of research, all your PowerPoints, all your books into this system, answer a few questions, press one button, and voila. It creates all the materials for you that you want to use. You go through, you check and see whether they are what is reflective, and it's all using your own materials. So again, for ODL, this is fantastic. You can create weeks of materials, content, quizzes, forum discussions, you know, all those. And there are so many of these. We benefited a lot, our lecturers, because we also run ODL. We run all our master's programs on ODL. Because some of our professors, they are new. Some, they got not much content. Some, their English is not good. So it solved my staff problem, because sometimes my staff is reading to their work, they are correcting the English. Oh my God. So now they come with perfect, good English content. At least when we read it through, instructionally, we are looking at whether instructional design principles are incorporated. So we benefited a lot with the use of AI for ODL, and I believe that if you were to see some of these systems, you will probably also be amazed by it. I think on assessment, we have addressed it just now, yeah, so probably mainly is to train people on how to change their methods, and I think that training is very important. Now, on the use of AI, our last comment, I think one of my staff also, her English was not good. But she used AI to write good emails, and it increased her confidence, you know? So she felt very confident that now her English is, you know, on a different level, you know, very comfortable. So thank you again, and I hope this helped. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the Commonwealth of Learning collaboration. Yes. I will write to some of our contacts at the Commonwealth of Learning, and then we can look into the collaboration. I think that is a fantastic idea, because Commonwealth of Learning, once you submit a good proposal, they can take it up. Just to share, we trained about 60 TVET trainers from the African region online through the Commonwealth of Learning funding on how to use AI for blended learning. So it was a lot of work on our end, a lot of work for the participants, but they said they learned so much. They were so happy on how to incorporate AI into vocational, technical and vocational education, yeah? So I think, and TVET is one whole section that I think open universities can get into TVET, yeah?
Okay, thank you very much, Professor and the members here present. Can we put our hands together for... And then may I now return the mic to the MC.
Thank you very much, Chair of the keynote speech session, Professor Modest Varisanga, as well as the presenter, Professor Singh, and the two discussants, Professor Cuthbert Kimambo and Professor Msele. Thank you very much for your wonderful job. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are moving on with our program, we are just going to the end of this first session, and I will take this opportunity to welcome Professor Leonard Ifweja, Professor Leonard Ifweja, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Learning Technologies and Regional Services for the Neno la Shukurani. Karibu sana, Professor. Word of thanks, vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Maguo. The keynote speaker and the guest of honor, Professor Abta Singh, the Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Tanzania, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, the President of the Convocation, Professor Modest Varisanga, members of the University Council, members of Senate, deans, directors, and heads of departments, members of the press, students and prospective graduates, good morning to everyone. Yeah, it is my honor and a privilege to deliver the note of thanks to this important occasion of our university convocation. On behalf of the OUT, we extend our deep thanks to our keynote speaker, Professor Abta Singh, for delivering a highly and insightful and intellectually enriching address on the theme, harnessing the power of emerging technologies for the delivery of affordable quality education. Your presentation has provided a clear and convincing view on how emerging technologies can effectively be used to enhance education access, affordability, and the quality of the education that we are offering. So the depth of your analysis and the practice that you have recommended have offered the guide on how we can contribute to advance our institutional mission. So during your presentation, you have shared a lot of experiences that you have gained from your involvement in the use of this technology and for the engagement in research and other different academically related activities, which will be a useful guide to how we execute our academic activities at the OUT. I also wish to take this opportunity to appreciate the time you have taken to join us and the wealth of expertise you have actually shared. You have come a very long distance from Malaysia to Tanzania for this special activity that you have been assigned. So we thank you very much for everything. Your contribution has greatly elevated the significance of this event, and we are deeply grateful. We also appreciate the two discussants who have devoted their time to go through this presentation that has been delivered in this occasion. Your critical analysis of the theme has ensured the legality of the education. So I think we have learned a lot from this insightful discussion that has happened in here. We also wish to appreciate the contribution from each and every individual that has been active in the engagement in this theme that has been presented. We also wish to extend our appreciation to the Vice Chancellor, the members of the University Council, which is the supreme board in overseeing the learning of the activities of the Open University, and also the Senate for their leadership and the vision and support that has made this occasion a success. Our thanks further goes to the deans, directors, and the HODs who have been involved at different points in the preparation of this activity. I also wish to extend our sincere thanks to the team that has participated full in the preparation of this occasion, especially for their time, for their proper planning and execution up to this moment, which made it possible for us to be here today and to enjoy what has been put in place as part of the program of this event. So, before I end my vote of thanks, I once again wish to thank Professor Singh for accepting our sincere thanks for handling us with your presence and for delivering such an impactful keynote address. But before I'm also ending this occasion, I have to take note of a few sayings which have emanated in this discussion from the keynote speaker and also from the discussants, that let's harness the technology to our advantage. And also, let's avoid fearing the technology. Furthermore, let's reserve our humility, capacity to avoid stupidity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Fweja, for your vote of thanks. And actually, that makes the end of the first session, whereby we are going to have a group photo, and after a group photo, we will carry on with the second session. DCM, please, we are now moving to your session, that is a group photo. Mr. Yusufu and the others, kindly arrange so that we quickly do the group photo and proceed with our program. Okay, we are done. The high table, please, can you kindly step down so that we have a group photo. The first photo will be that of the high table. Yes. Yes, this is the first photo, and we have the high table, whereby we have the university executives as well as members of the university council. Thank you. Thank you very much. The members of the university management, deans and directors, please. Deans and directors, the second photo. Deans and directors. Yes, university management team. Yes. Jibaneni kidogo. Atosha hapo. Aya, piga hiyo. Naam. Those who have received the awards, wote waliopata zawadi, please join kwenye picha with your Dr. Dorin, the coordinator for university teaching and learning, and your colleague, please. The third photo. The third photo. Yes, chap pale, twende haraka. Time is not our best ally. Yes. Dr. Dorini msimame katikati hapo. Dorini and Hamisa hapo katikati. Yes. Okay, let's have this first and then we'll have the second group for the, yes, for you. Ili siwe imebana sana. Nye hapo soge kidogo hapo. Yes. Taingia ya pili. Sogeni pembeni kidogo, mtaingia picha ya pili nyie. Kule tu, sogeni huko. Yes. Huko. Taingia picha ya pili. Cheers. Cheers. Good. Okay, thank you. Piteni kwa hapa kwangu hapa. Hapa. Hai. Aya ya pili hiyo. Yes. It's so nice. Good. Cheers. Yeah. Okay, another photo is for the senior graduates. We have two. Mama from the Faculty of Law. And please, yes, join us here. Watu wawili hao. Yes, Mr.
Baby, follow my command, like zombie. Go down on me, oh, we drop Coca-Cola.
They are doctors. They are not misters. Oh, doctors. Much welcome. Jamani, hata vigelegele kidogo. Good. In Anna, you can just stay there. International students who are here, please. Do we have any international students who have participated with us or they have left? Ah, yes. Let them join here. Okay, yes. Good. Yes. Cheers. Thank you very much. The last one is for the heads of departments. Heads of department, wakuu wote wa idara ambao tuko hapa, from all the faculties, Dr. Mambo and your friends, Dr. Mushi and the others, please, coordinators, heads of department, let us have a group photo. Hey, the coordinators. Twende. Yes. Heads of department, coordinators. Yes. Twende. Punguza mziki huo, punguza mziki. Asante sana. The secretariat. Siwasahau secretariat. Siwasahau bwana. Haya, secretariat. Wengine nafikiri watakuwa wanaendelea na majukumu mengine. Haya, mliopo wasilisha hapa. Okay. Safi. Cheers. Good. Kiunsi una. Yes, tomorrow niliita members wa management, DRCs ya mkoa mmenani. Haya basi njooni. DRCs who are here. Tukisema members wa university management including DRCs. Lakini nafikiri walisahau kidogo. Ngoja nao wapate picha. Other staff who are graduating will be having a group photo tomorrow at Ibungo. The group of the university staff and those who are graduating, tutakuwa na picha kule Kibaha kesho. Cheers. These are the directors from our regional centers who have represented their fellow directors. Much welcome. Yeah. So we are done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this marks the end of our first session, and we'll be having a break of 20 minutes, so that maybe you want to put your suit very well, you can just go around and put it well. And then after 20 minutes, we'll resume here for the annual general meeting. That will hardly take 30 minutes. And after that, we'll be having lunch. So please don't leave. Just be around. 20 minutes, then we convene. Students who have received the awards, please, you may just remain here so that you can meet Hamisa and Dr. Dorin. Students who have received different awards, don't leave. Just meet Dr. Dorin and Hamisa for further information.